Christmas Troy, thy candle shines so brightly.
You know what I oddly kind of associate with Christmas, and I'm not sure. Oh, I can tell you why. It's Star Wars. They're not Christmas movies at all, but I always kind of associate them.
They did do the Christmas special.
Oh my god, that thing's amazing. But I think the reason is because for a while, Star Wars movies came out around December. I mean, Force Awakens.
So I can see that, where
Yeah.
it's like
It's not in
becomes
season.
a Christmas tradition.
Yes, because you do it with family.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like, holy shit, like, I worked at the movie theater for my first job, and, like, the movie theater is a lot of people's tradition is
to go to the movies on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it is the busiest time of year.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's crazy.
works at the theater on Christmas. It does not matter.
It's super sad. Not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Not the year of 2020 when everything's closed.
Right.
But to be fair, it was always kind of like, oh, I have to work on Christmas at the theater. But literally, like, because it's so easy to have shitty customers and shitty people come into the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Just the worst.
Yeah.
And on Christmas, everyone's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Everyone is so excited to be there and to see you, and everyone says thank you.
Oh, that's nice. One day. Yeah.
I remember the first year I worked Christmas at the theater. I was in the box office selling the tickets, and a little girl drew me an elf and gave it to me on a piece of paper. And while it was printing up the tickets, I just real quick just whipped up a little thing of tape, and I went, here you go, and I put it right up on the window. And she was just so thrilled. She was like, "Oh my god, look at that!" I'm like, "Yep,
going up."
Yeah,
That's
there's a
super
good
cute.
Christmas memory for you.
Yeah,
It is
that's
making some
really
little kid's day that I was never gonna see again.
Right,
but
like she'll probably remember it.
Yeah.
That's really
When she does
cute.
her YouTube channel and she's talking about Christmas memories,
she's
she'll
gonna
talk
say
about
that.
Yeah, she'll talk about, oh, this grumpy old ugly asshole was selling our family tickets, and I gave him a pity drawing, and it made his day. I helped some crotchety old Grinch. Okay.
I love
the
the
original
Grinch.
Grinch is
All of the
another
Grinches.
required. Oh my god, look at all this
Yeah,
shit. Look at this.
like the
Look at all this stuff I got.
20-minute cartoon special, always good.
Yeah. I like the Jim Carrey one okay.
Oh, I love that movie too.
Some of the jokes.
I watched that movie.
Some of the jokes don't are not time. They don't stand well against time. Like making the mayor tongue his dog's asshole.
Oh yeah, that's not great.
I was like, what is that doing in this movie? That's weird.
It was weird. That's a weird part of that movie.
I also I don't need to. The Grinch doesn't need origins.
No.
But they did the origins okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. And I'm okay with the Grinch arriving like the other Who babies and that he was just a different type of Who.
Yeah. And I also like Cindy Lou's character.
I do. Yeah.
She
Cindy
has
Lou...
no character in the original, which is fine.
No. I mean, it's 20 minutes, you know.
Where are you going to fit character aside from your title character?
Exactly.
But
that's I do like what they did with Cindy Lou, that she, she's also feeling like everybody is not in it for the right reasons.
Yeah. And if anyone is going to be sweet and saccharine and really down with it's gonna be Cindy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that most of the other Who's are kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Most of them. And she's the one that she is what I think all of the Who's in the original are.
Yeah. They're very sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And
just doing Christmas for the love of it.
Yeah, for their families. They they don't even of course they love the decorations and the songs and the presents and all of that stuff, but at the end of the day it's like, oh man, I just love being with my whole family and my friends and the feeling that I get being around anyone that I love, and I just wish it could last forever.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, Cindy's a good one. That girl too she's so cute in that movie. And then
search the graveyard for the lonely hanging tree.
Oh.
I just remember that there's okay. All right. Wait, is the pin where I'm at?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
But then that girl grows up and is in Gossip Girl.
Who is she in Gossip Girl?
She is Dan's little sister.
I don't remember Dan.
Dan's the main boy.
Okay, why do I know this?
Because I loved Gossip Girl because it is the most trash, wonderful.
But
TV.
you never made me watch it.
No.
Oh, he's a little.
But he's the guy.
He's literally a character just sitting here. How did I miss that so many times? Oh my god! I'm gonna edit this video so we're not wandering around so much.
But he's the main character in that TV show. We haven't watched it. The stalker.
The one that all the people are missing the point of.
Yes.
And
where
he came out and said, and was like, "You're not supposed to." Yeah.
I was super proud of him.
Well, and it just harkens back to like what we were saying about how people like identify with, I'm just gonna say it, the wrong relationship goals or the wrong archetype to pursue in a real life setting.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everybody who's
There's
like,
something wrong
Peter
with
Griffin
you.
is the greatest guy ever. I'm like, no.
No, he's not.
No. That's like saying that Homer Simpson is a stand-up guy. Like, no, he's not. You're not supposed to want to be like those people.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to fall in love with those people. And yeah, so I was really happy that the guy who plays Dan, who's in the main character, or the main guy in You, came out and was like,
no, you're not supposed to.
My character is not a nice person.
Yeah, and like characters don't have to be perfect to be likable. We were talking about Jack. Like, Jack is a very endearing and positive person.
Yeah.
He is thick as a brick.
Yeah.
He is an idiot.
Not very smart, but he is lovable.
He's very lovable. And
you want him to succeed.
And you want him to be your friend.
Yes.
Because when he finds out that Oogie is just torturing his friends.
Oh, he goes off.
That fight takes like 20 seconds.
Real.
When you compare their size, you're like, I mean, Jack should be going down, but shit.
But he won hard.
He won that fight. Oh, hey, you guys remember that song where the kids plot to murder an old man?
Oh, the kids.
Yeah.
Are you having fun, Jack?
You three wouldn't have anything to do with Oogie's return, would you?
What was I saying about Jack? Oh, just dumb character. Yeah,
Yeah, but super endearing, super sweet.
And Grinch, like,
Turn this town to order immediately.
I appreciate how it landed its message at the end a lot. Jim Carrey carries that movie on his back.
He's super
If you had casted anyone else in that spot, that movie would be completely different.
Yeah.
For better or
not
worse, it would be different.
Well, I always thought, like, it's such an interesting little piece of trivia. I always thought it was really interesting that there was a day where they put, like, 6 people in the Grinch makeup. And so everybody looked exactly the same. Like, you could not tell which one was Jim Carrey until they started to talk and move.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, there he is.
Yeah, he's very immediately identifiable, especially in that era.
Yeah.
When he was at the, like, cream of the crop, like, really hitting his stride. And not just necessarily selling out, because there are some things where I'm like, they casted him just because he's popular.
Right, yes.
Fucking the Riddler. I mean, he has the right energy for it, but I mean,
I still love it.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have cast a lot of people as Riddler in that, but they really were like, oh, well, the Mask is hot right now.
Yep. So
Dumb and Dumber is hot right now.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. But
you know that part of that was filmed in Estes?
Really?
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it takes place in Aspen.
Yeah.
I don't think they filmed in Aspen, but yeah, where the helicopter comes up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's in Rocky Mountain National Park.
That makes sense. Yeah, Jim Carrey like probably metaphorically broke his back carrying that movie, but he also physically strained himself with all the makeup and the hair and the eye contacts, and
there's a lot.
Yeah, you gotta be proud of that on your resume.
Yeah, and that movie it's super fun, and it's
minus the dog asshole licking.
Yeah.
I just really don't like that part. And it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
You could cut it out of the movie and it
And
changes
it wouldn't
nothing.
do anything,
And it would
yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
I appreciate that they didn't just make me beat up a little kid
Right?
in this game. It's just
Oh
an
my God.
endurance round. Now we can't talk about the Grinch original or the Grinch Jim Carrey without also talking about the new Grinch that came out.
Like, what, 2 years ago? Last year?
I want to say it was
I think it was
last
last
year
year.
because that was the last time my mom went to
To a movie with us, because, yeah.
In general, she hasn't
Oh,
gone to
yeah.
a movie since. The year before that was Force Away. No, that was a while ago. I'm sorry. But yeah, we went to go see the new Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch Biohazard Cumberbill as
I
Grinch.
like him.
No, I do too. But you know what? He himself has said I would make fun of my name if I saw someone with that. So I feel okay with it. You'll find 0 at his grave. Thanks, video game.
I didn't hate the new Grinch. I thought it was a cute idea. And super liked the fact that Cindy's mom is like a nurse and is like a working mom.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. And, you know, and she's got all the kids.
She's
and
never
she's
had
trying
a mom before in the other things. Did she? No,
Cindy
she did.
has
She had
a
a mom.
mom in-
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I will back down on that 100%. I'm sorry.
Maybe like not in the
OG.
cartoon, just because we didn't see any of her parents.
Yeah.
Either of her parents.
But
in that
what I
one,
did
but
say was that we've never seen Cindy's mom before,
like-
and that's super wrong.
we did in Jim Carrey's, but
Yeah.
yeah. In this one though, it's like she's a single parent at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah, like there's no dad, and you know she works nights, and but Cindy's like super supportive of her and just wants her mom to be happy, and I was like, that's super cute. I appreciate that. I didn't mind the Grinch like having this other side character who just really wants to be friends with him. I was like, yeah, he just like really wants to be friends with the
Kenan
Grinch.
Thompson's
Yeah.
character? Yeah, that was a
I was
nice
like,
idea.
that's cute.
That was a cute idea.
He's like, I live near-ish to the Grinch. He has to walk by my house, and I just want to be a good neighbor. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad idea. Is that 0? Oh, he's showing me where to go. I don't know. Out of the 3, it's the one between like the original and the Jim Carrey one and that one. That's the one I like the least.
I would say me too. It's still really cute, and I will definitely still watch it.
I think it's just so cartoony to the point where I'm like, it doesn't feel like a Grinch thing because it has so much in common with like just modern. Oh, he's right here.
I found him.
With like, I just tried to attack him. With like other zany, wildly overactive cartoons that are out. And I know this is old. This is an old man statement. I'm literally sprouting gray hair. Look.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming
I
up.
spotted it this morning
Oh.
when I went through like this. I'm literally sprouting new gray hair saying this. So I'm sacrificing my body when I say that it's too cartoon, like too much like all them new kids cartoons or whatever. like Cindy, I don't remember much of her personality in it versus the live action one. I like the idea of her just wanting, like what you said, for her mom, but they barely have any screen time together, so it's harder for me to buy it. Her plan to kidnap Santa, I'm like, so when does Kidnap Santa Claus start playing? Because that's basically what this movie is now. That's not a bad thing. I just think it's funny. We rewatched it at a friend of ours' house safely.
Yeah.
Don't get on us about COVID.
They've been the only people we saw over quarantine.
And we've all been quarantined, so I'm not justified to you fucking people.
But
We're
we are
smart
safe.
enough. We're smart enough. Anyway, not smarter than you, just smart enough to not walk around without masks and go to parties
safe,
and
and
shit.
they're the only people that we saw over quarantine.
But we watched it there, and I forgot where I was going with this. With her and
Santa Claus. And
oh, I her and her mom.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wish you guys had more screen time together so I could buy it. Her plan to kidnap Santa. I'm like, where is this coming from? The Grinch, Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's a good choice.
Band-Aid, he's kind of an annoying choice.
I like his voice, though.
There are times where I hear him and he's perfect, and then there's other times where he's really high and nasally, and I feel like he could have dialed it down a little. He's not the worst choice, but I just left zero behind, didn't I? Mm-hmm. He's not the worst choice. It's just sometimes it's a little annoying. I really like the joke of the one that still got a laugh out of me, even at our friend's house, was when he gives Max the toy, and he's just squeaking it forever and ever, and he just goes, "That's gonna get old real fast." I was like, "That's super real."
Super real.
I appreciate that. That's good. But it's just so wild and zany, and there's some filler to it, where I'm like, you're losing me a little bit. And also with the origin story bit, again, I don't mind the Grinch necessarily having an origin.
No.
But I don't know, for him to love or to not like Christmas just because he's left out of it, I was like, I don't know. That's what kind of led me to be like, so is the Grinch Jewish? Is it just because he's left out of Christmas? He feels left out of the holiday season? What the fuck? Where did these things come from? Just a fan theory.
Yeah.
I have no real actual evidence to support that. But yeah, I'm not as wild about the new Grinch. I also thought that he could have been more of a prick. The movie feels a little toothless compared to Jim Carrey's Grinch, where I'm like, you are endangering people.
It's true.
Not
He gives those kids a saw.
Yep. And then that bike falls apart while they're on it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't die from that.
No, but they would probably get hurt.
They get banged up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a dick.
Yeah.
Not a murderous, evil, conniving. Oh my god, the chain letter, blackmail, pink slip, eviction notice. I'm like, that is so good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
There's
stuff.
a lot of really good jokes in that movie.
Yeah, and again, a lot of it is Jim Carrey's delivery.
Just being amazing.
Specifically. What do I do with this?
Oh, another Christmas special or other Christmas episodes that I love are all of the Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes.
Oh, those are great.
They're all good. Every single one is good. My favorite are
Twinkly lights.
the two-part Bleakin'.
Yeah.
Christmas episodes.
Oh, that Bleakin' tune when it gets stuck in your head.
The Bleakin'.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
make you wish you were never born. And then when they reprise it, but it's creepy and unsettling because they're scared.
It's so good.
I'm like, oh man,
it's so good.
That was a real high point.
And
for
friggin'
Bob's
Todrick
Burgers.
Hall singing Twinkly Lights. It's so good. It's so good. But all the Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes are good.
How do I get down there?
I don't know. You can't grab him?
No, I tried. That's me trying right there.
If you jump, are you dead?
Oh my god, I just talked to him.
Oh.
It didn't even occur to me that you just verbalize. I don't need to be in front of him. I just have to shout at him.
Hello. I also really like the episode where Bob's uncle passes away and leaves him the storage unit.
Oh my god.
And then the guy is living in the storage unit and says that he was a mannequin once and makes the window displays for them.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
So glad you're living with us. Okay, everybody out.
Everybody out.
Yeah, that's really good. I still Community has really good Christmas episodes.
Yep.
Yeah, Friends has a really good.
Friends is good.
What was it? Oh.
I'm the holiday armadillo.
You want to wander in the hall? I rewatched we kind of rewatched the Invader Zim Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize there were two versions of.
Yeah, that was weird.
Where the one that's on the DVD, if you guys have it, The one that's on the like Media Blasters edition DVD, there's just straight up sound effects
That are
missing. And supposedly that's
weird.
the one that aired, like the one that more regular, the uncut version or whatever. I'm like, it upsets me to think that people's first experience to this, first impression, is this unfinished piece of crap.
Yeah, it was really weird because it was like very, very noticeable. It wasn't like a random like passing by. If you didn't pay attention, you would miss it.
No,
it's like something happened, like something hits something else, or like falls or whatever. It's very, very noticeable that there's no noise.
And because it lasts, like it's really big when it lands, and it's like, I don't know, like the timing of this too. It's like it pauses. For a sound, and it doesn't happen.
And there's no sound, yeah.
And also, what's really annoying... Hey, what does it say? It won't budge.
Someone must...
Want to keep me out. Well, Zero's over here. And we're going to do what Zero wants. Isn't he? I hear him.
I hear him.
Oh,
I don't
wait.
see him.
I know what I'm doing wrong. But what's like really annoying is that the snowman that's telling the Christmas story to the kids... Any further, it looks like I'll have to break them. Okay. He refers to Zim as Zam, and he refers to Dib as Dab. And it's so irritating. I'm like, why? What purpose does this serve?
Right? Like, just to be rude, or like...
Well, I looked into it, and apparently the logic is that over time, the story has been told, and it just got lost through translation over time.
It's a telephone thing.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's not apparent.
No. And you just think he's mispronouncing it.
Yeah, when you watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, everyone still calls him Rudolph.
Then it's not like later he's Todd. Like...
Yeah, like, what? Why? It's one of those creative decisions that I'm like, you were a little up your own ass, I think, with this.
Ooh, I know a bad Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah?
Jack Frost. Not the animated one. The scary, he turns into a snowman.
Oh, the Kevin Costner one? Or Michael Keaton one? Yeah, that was
that movie is depressing as shit.
It's depressing.
And it's just not fun.
It's not fun, and, like, I appreciate when you do a real prosthetic puppet that people can interact with.
Absolutely.
But, boy, that thing is creepy.
Creepy.
And some of the moments when he's like, I love you, son. I'm like... Something about the cold, lifeless, dead eyes staring at him. I'm like, ugh.
This is not great.
Keep it above the waist.
It's I don't think that's a good movie.
No, it's not.
I don't watch that movie.
No. It's one of those. I'm like, again, the idea is fair. It's just
absolutely. The idea of like a dad getting to kind of interact with his kids after he I get it. It's
business.
Nice. Yeah, unfinished business. The idea is nice. The execution is poor.
Yeah.
Maybe if I would have watched it when I was little, I would have more of an affinity for it. But like, no.
You know, I watched it as a little kid, and I remember thinking that like, it's just some movie. I don't really. It's not. It's fine. It's whatever. And then I watched it as an adult and be like, wow, how was I not horrified of this?
Right. Like, this is a terrifying movie.
Okay, Zero's floating around here. What does he want? Oh, he's going that way. What was I saying before Jack Frost? Yeah, that's one of those creative choices that you were really up your own ass, and you didn't think about how that would come across from a third party.
Yeah.
From like behind the scenes, it's a cute idea.
Sure.
But like, I shouldn't have to look at behind the scenes for it to make canonical sense.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, there's just other weird choices. This is where I have to climb up the thing to get the last hangman. There's other weird choices where like Zim talks like Hulk Hogan when he's dressed as Santa and he's talking on TV.
Yeah.
And there's like heavy metal music playing. I'm like, this is so
like,
weird.
What's
what is happening with this?
Yeah. I mean, it's always a weird show, but it's just, like extra weird.
Yeah. And that one I could maybe be like, I could see the argument of like, Caleb, you're just like attaching nostalgia to it. You just don't like it because it's not what you originally saw. Sure, okay, fine, but it's also not finished. Like, there's so many parts of it.
Problem.
Oh shit! Jack's drunk. That deadly nightshade is really powerful.
Strong, yeah.
That drink that Sally snuck to him was hitting it a little
She's
too
like,
hard.
you need this.
Yeah, I sure do.
We all need this.
And she comes back later and says, Jack, you have a problem. Okay, now I really don't.
Did you go the wrong way?
You know what, I might have. Zero, you fucking asshole. Shut up.
He just really needs you to get to him.
God.
He's really upset about it.
That show is weird, but like
It's weird.
there's
I like it. I always liked it.
sound effects are really like important for delivering comedy in animation. Like it can really sell a punch or, you know, something. Think about Tom and Jerry. Like how much of that humor
There's
would not
no
be
talking in that show.
Yeah, so
it's all sound effects.
you need the sound effects to
Music,
hit home.
things like that.
Yeah, you need that to work right. So when that version of the Christmas special screws up a lot of the sound effects, I'm like, man, this isn't as funny.
Like speaking of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Oh, you want to go there?
I am super upset.
Okay.
That they are making that movie.
Yeah, me too.
Because they are it's okay, so one of our favorite movies is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
That is an example of an excellently done cartoon into real world interaction movie.
Uh-huh. It took a lot of work
It
too.
sure did, and they did a great job, and that movie is amazing. And then you get the movies like Yogi Bear and the Smurfs and
Woody the Woodpecker.
Oh, and
boy.
Sonic the Hedgehog and
yikes.
Rocky and Bullwinkle
Oh God.
and the Looney Tunes movie.
Both of those have Brendan Fraser in them.
I know. And like you get those movies where you're like, this is not good. And I think one of my biggest problems with this new Tom and Jerry movie is that Tom and Jerry are still very much cartoons. That's how they are represented in this movie. They are the cartoon versions of themselves. They didn't like make them a real cat and a real mouse. They are their recognizable selves as cartoons, but they are treated like real life animals.
Yeah, they sure are.
And it makes no sense. I was like, if they would just treat them like toons who are living in the real world, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's just a known thing that cartoons are real and they're actual beings and they just exist with the rest of us, then it would be fine and super doable and might actually be kind of cute and charming. But because they're treating Tom and Jerry like they're real, none of it makes sense, and it's just really forced and awkward. It's awkward. The trailer didn't look fun or good. I don't even understand what the plot is.
No, I don't either. That there's a mouse in the hotel, and
then Tom gets brought in to
is hired
get
to
rid.
assassinate him.
Yeah, I was like, she like also works at the hotel, and then brings Tom in as a cat to get rid of the one mouse in the hotel.
Sure, because one animal running around is not acceptable. So let's bring two.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so I was like, that plot is weak, to say the very least. And like, I love Tom and Jerry. I watched that show before I went to school.
It's still funny.
And yeah, it's still funny. Like, it's good.
The slapstick is good.
Like, Tom and Jerry Kids, watched all that. Like, big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Big fans.
But, like, I don't know. It's just, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I don't need another Rocky and Bullwinkle experience.
No one
where
does.
You're just so disappointed overall that you're like, wow. Because, like, even in that movie, they made Boris and Natasha real people, and then Rocky and Bullwinkle are cartoons. I'm like, why couldn't they all just be the cartoons? I don't understand. That movie was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I just think that this is going to be another Smurfs, where it's just like, this was solely made for little kids, and it's just not even that enjoyable for the little kids.
Yeah.
And they're banking on nostalgia, but it's not enough to pull it through.
Yeah. No, it sure isn't, especially not nowadays.
No. Like, if you, like, especially, because, like, that is something that I grew up with, that you grew up with, like, our generation is very much like, those are our childhood things that you're trying to make into new movies now.
Yeah, you know what was really cringy was when they tried putting a Batman-ish reference in there. I was like, you're really trying hard to get new kids into this.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And, like, I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of that argument of, like, well, but it's bringing a whole new audience into it. If you want a brand new audience, just rerun the old ones.
Yeah.
Like, they're charming enough as it is. And, like, okay, so there are some cartoons that the jokes are a little outdated and they wouldn't make sense because the references are no longer happening.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But, like, there are certain things, like Mary Poppins and Pete's Dragon and things like that, where it's like, just show them the original. They are charming and wonderful all on their own. You don't need to redo it to make more people interested.
Yeah.
I would go to a theater and watch Mary Poppins on the big screen, the original. I would go. I would bring my kids. That movie is amazing and super charming. And same with Pete's Dragon. I would go and rewatch the original on the big screen. I would do it.
So I guess maybe on that note, to kind of cap off the day before we call this, is we should talk, as long as we're talking about, like, because I completely agree. Like, especially with Pete's Dragon and Mary Poppins, where it's like, and especially, like, you brought it back for this.
Yeah, right.
This is how you decided to redo it. Let's address the possibility of a Nightmare Before Christmas remake, which is, you know, being spoken about. Don't know if it's gonna happen, because here's the thing: they talked about back when Nightmare Before Christmas first came out. They were like, "Hey, we ought to do a sequel where Jack goes to other holidays and does that."
I think that's a bad idea.
And yeah, Henry Selick or Tim Burton, one or the other, was like, it's kind of been done already. Like
we did that. It would just be the same movie in a different holiday.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, and I know that's where people say, like, oh, but that'd be intriguing to see Jack go to whatever. I'm like, but it's just the point of the movie is to not appropriate a holiday for your whatever,
for
what you need it to be.
Yeah. Like, just because you like it, you can't take it.
Yeah.
Like,
it would literally just be, it would be like Home Alone 1 and 2, but without any of the, like, originality or, like, any of the new ideas. It's just going to be the same shit.
Exact same
also,
stuff.
like, so the idea of remaking it, I think, is to try and get around the fact, like, we'll do Halloween and Christmas again, because it's a remake, not a sequel.
Which I don't think needs to be done.
No.
I think it just... I hope they don't. I really hope they don't, because I would consider this movie one of the classics. Like, it's something that everyone is aware of, at least. Whether it's your favorite or you hate it, you at least know about it, which in my book makes that a classic. Like, if the majority of the population knows about it and or has seen some of it or all of it, then it's kind of a classic.
If it's it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh, I don't really know video games. It's Mario.
Yeah, like, you know Mario. Mario's a classic.
It's pop culture. Yeah. It is not just, like, confined to one specific niche interest. And it's just in the public eye.
Yeah, and I just think when they start to just redo all of the things that a lot of people hold very dear, it's just overkill. It's beating a dead horse. It's unnecessary. Like, it's unfortunate. I just don't think it's the same way I feel about pretty much any of the Disney remakes, that they just weren't any of the live action remakes. I just don't feel that they were needed, necessary. I just don't see the purpose of it, and it's always, well, we're just trying to bring a new audience into it. Well,
the originals are still around.
They're still there. Oops. They're still good. They're still around. They're still there. And that's how I feel about this one too. It's just, I don't think it's needed. God, I don't think it's necessary.
I keep trying to taunt. I'm still having the Devil May Cry problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't.
Yeah. With Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like, also, like, I mean, I do too. But you know that it's gonna be CGI
Oh yeah.
horse shit.
It won't have the same charm.
No.
Because like, Jack is. I don't know. Like it's the whole idea of kind of a stop motion.
It's just unnatural enough.
Yeah.
That you buy that he's from a whole other world.
Yeah.
He still moves like how a skeleton ought
Sure.
to. But the fact that they are stop motion is just creepy enough.
Yeah.
Because they're from Halloween Town.
Halloween Town. Like it's. Yeah. Like it's just it's got this. I don't know. It was one of the first kind of weird Tim Burton-y things too, like in animation, you know what I mean? Like obviously there was, Edward Scissorhands and
Sure.
all of those, all the good ones, but like as far as animation is concerned, like this is when you think of Tim Burton, even though he didn't direct this movie, this is one of the things people think of. It's this
still,
style. It's this
yeah,
a little bit off, but charming.
It's still loaded and laced with his
ideas, his concepts, his imagination.
Yeah.
And yeah, because they they will. You'll know they'll go full CGI and everything will be weird and smoothed out and
make pop culture references.
Yeah, and it's not.
God, the Addams Family one where they make it reference.
That movie was so bad.
It was not great.
It was not
even
fun.
from the trailers, the like, oh, there's usually a killer clown attached to these things. I'm like,
oh.
Because it is popular.
I didn't like that movie. We talked about it on one of our videos. I
did.
didn't like that movie because they made the Addams Family seem stupid.
Yeah, I was like, they still know what
Things
balloons
are. Like, they're not from outer space and don't know what like streets are and like how to do things like drive cars, and they know what all of this is. They're people.
Yeah.
Like, it's frustrating. Yeah, it's like that though, where it's like, please don't ruin it.
Yeah, they will though. Because they ruin everything that's good. I am old man, show me to my walker. Alright, maybe we gotta wrap this up. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. That's the final thought
No.
I'm gonna give to you.
I mean,
It's not a great Christmas movie. It takes place on Christmas. There's tons of snow. There's so much Christmas. I just rewatched it. I was like, holy shit, this is a Christmas movie. Batman and Alfred say Merry Christmas
They
like
do.
90 times.
They do.
Okay, that's a bit much.
they
but
say it a lot though.
They say it
do
a lot,
say it
though.
a lot.
And here's a big one for me. My big one is Batman and Catwoman learn who they are, like their secret identities, because of mistletoe. They share a kiss because of mistletoe. And they go, oh yeah, but a kiss can be just as deadly, and they do that in their superhero whatever outfits. And then later when they kiss again, they go, oh fuck. I'm like, that doesn't happen on St. Patrick's Day. That doesn't. That wouldn't happen on Halloween. That shit's a Christmas movie.
Oh my god, I like that movie though.
Yeah, it's not the best Batman movie, but it is a
good.
Tim Burton movie.
Yeah,
that's for fucking sure.
And it's good.
All right, well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Christmas.
The sight of thee at Christmastide spreads hope and gladness far and wide. Oh, Christmas Troy, oh, Christmas Troy, thou tree most fair and lovely.